Alright, what's good everybody? So in this video, I want to talk about a little something that kind of struck my mind here very recently after putting in a little bit more time in Pokemon Sun and Moon. This does kind of change my mind from my first impressions, my what I think so far Pokemon Sun and Moon video. This is something that I really just found out, and I really want to talk about it in this video. And again, I'm terribly sorry for this incredibly bad video quality. I don't have a capture card. If you know a way I can capture video from my Nintendo 2DS, please let me know. I would greatly appreciate it. Please let me know in the comments below. So I want to talk about Pokemon Sun and Moon and some of the mechanics in the game that I do have a problem with. For one, the map. Don't get me wrong, the map does tell you where to go. It tells you where your main objective is. Now I know back in the day in Pokemon, they didn't have that. All you had was a town map just showing you the general map of the game, but it never had like a little symbol telling you where to go. Now, here's the good thing about this. It's convenient. It lets players know where to go, but it holds your hand way too much. The game holds your hand way too much. It's not like you have to figure out where you have to go on your own, and that does kind of take away some of the challenge from the game. Now, don't get me wrong, it is convenient, and in all the Pokemon generation games, they've always made it easy. This isn't nothing new. They've always made it very convenient for players to, find their way, to navigate throughout the map very easily. In the original Pokemon games, you didn't have that at all. Like the Red and Blue, you didn't have that at all. I mean, you had to everything you had to figure it out on your own. And what I liked about that one is it gave you a challenge. It really had made you have to explore and learn the game. But in this one, you don't have to do that. The game pretty much holds your hand. So there's pros and there's cons to it. I guess it depends on the type of player you are. If you're a person who likes to challenge, then maybe it's not so much good for you. But you can tell they made Pokemon Sun and Moon for everybody of all ages. So if you're a long time Pokemon player like I am, me personally, I would have chose not to have the indicator on where to go, but that's just, I'm guessing that's just something that they had to choose and that they had to deal with. Another thing that I do have a big problem with is whenever you battle, it shows you what moves are effective and what are super effective, like in this picture we see right here. Now, don't get me wrong, when you first encounter an opponent Pokemon, it won't tell you what's super effective and effective, but after a few encounters, it'll eventually tell you what's super effective and effective. Yes, don't get me wrong, it's very convenient, to get it out the way, but it also takes away a lot of the challenge, and it takes away a lot of guessing the Pokemon's attack and seeing what they can do. It takes away a lot of, learning the attacks, and I kind of don't like that. I wish they would have kept that out because I just feel like it's way too easy now. But I understand it's a decision that they had to make. Me personally, I don't like it. I would have done away with it, but like I said, I understand it's a decision that the Pokemon Company had to have made. I mean, if we go back in time to original Red and Blue just for a little bit, I mean, do you guys even remember these days? These days you had to hustle. You really had to learn every inch of what you were doing, and it was not easy. It was not easy at all. I mean, I remember back then Pokemon didn't even learn that many attacks, and every attack that you had to use, you had to pretty much kind of learn it on your own. I remember the first time, hell, when I started off with Charmander, or not Charmander, I'm sorry. I remember when I started off with Squirtle, I used Tail Whip, and I didn't know that it's not a physical attack, it's just a stat changer, and all that you had to learn on your own. These were back in the days where, Pokemon was grinding hard. You had to hustle for a lot of things. I mean, there was no free ride back here. There was no XP share. There was no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we had the glitch. Everybody learned the Masingo glitch, which was cool. But, not everybody learned it as soon. Eventually, people learned it, but then they did away with it in other generations. But you get what I'm saying. The essence of the game, it was hard. You had to learn it, and I understand it was a beginning game, so they're not going to have all that easy stuff. And in no way I'm comparing Sun and Moon to Red and Blue. I mean, I understand, with time comes change, with time comes a lot of evolution, and that's expected. Now, I'm not saying that the game is bad in any way. I am having a lot of fun playing the game, but I do feel like the game has dumbed down a bit in some mechanics. I feel like they made it a little too easy, and I understand they try to make it a little easy for new Pokemon players as well, but I feel like it's dumbed down to a point where the game pretty much holds your hand on your direction of where to go. Now, don't get me wrong, there is one thing that is challenging, but it's challenging to a point where it's kind of annoying in my opinion. There's a part, or not a part, but there is a new mechanic where you run into a wild Pokemon and they call allies for help. Now, there's pros and there's cons to that. The good thing is that it increases your chances of running into a shiny, or running into a Pokemon with a hidden ability, or running into a Pokemon with a gender that you need for breeding. So there's pros and cons to that. But the hard part is it's a lot more harder to catch the Pokemon if that's the one you want. It's a lot harder because then you gotta eliminate that one, and then that one can call an ally, and it can go on for a while. But there is good because you can get more experience from that, which is good though. So I guess that's one thing that they added that is challenging. But I feel like as far as directional and kind of telling you how to battle and stuff like that, the game really holds your hand now, and it's kind of dumbed down. But that's my main point on this video. I feel like Pokemon Sun does have a lot of good things, but it also kind of dumbed down a bit. I'm still liking the game. I'm still enjoying it. I can't wait to complete the main story. That way I can get into some competitive playing. What do you guys think though? Do you guys think Pokemon Sun and Moon is a little too dumbed down? Do you think they made the game a little too easy? Is it necessary for it to be too easy? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Until then, I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace out. Y'all be safe.